I have to share some sad news. As you can obviously see, Sherman Hemsley, dead at the age of 74. You know what? You know you're getting old when the shows that you grew up when you was kids, when the men and women are starting to pass away, or you realize that you're in your 30s or your 40s, and you're like, damn, I'm getting old. So you can just imagine how old Sherman was when he did these shows. That means Sherman was pretty young when he did the Jeffersons. Pretty young. That means he had to be in his 30s when the Jeffersons premiered. Because let me see, if he's 74, it was 74 when he dies, 10, 64, 2, 54, and 92. That means he was 44 and 82. So that means in 72, he was 32 years old. And I think he started playing the Jeffersons. What? Jeffersons came out, what, 70, I want to say, what was that, 1970, 71? So, I mean, All in the Family. So he started playing the character around, I think, 72, 73. So he was in his 30s when he did this. And, he and Isabel Sanford, Marla Gibbs. I think Marla Gibbs and the Doorman and Mr. Bentley and Jenny and Jessica are the only surviving cast members. Because Mr. Willis died, Mrs. Willis has died, Mrs. Jefferson's died, Mother Jefferson, Lionel has died, the original Lionel. I think second Lionel is still alive. Jenny is still alive because she was on. I saw her recently. I think maybe a year, maybe 2 years in the movie, and I think the girl that played Jessica, she still acts off and on. I haven't seen her in a while, but I think she acted all the way up until her teens, maybe until her 20s. The guy that played Mr. Bentley, you see him in movies every now and then. You don't see the doorman too much. Who else did I say? Mr. Bentley, doorman. Oh, you don't. And the bartender guy that he played in the Mario cartoon that was back in the late '80s, early '90s. I think he's still alive, but the main cast members are gone. Just like like I think Rob Reiner and Sally Struthers and Maureen Stapleton are the surviving cast members of All in the Family. But the thing is, we never really gave Sherman Hemsley his due because they were the first black sitcom to break the 10-year mark. I mean, just think about it. Jefferson's premiered in 1974. They went on to 1984. Only show that probably come close to that is Family Matters, then The Cosby Show. No other black show done that. And I think we as black Americans, we tend to look past that because we look at it as a comedy. But we have to remember, it was groundbreaking. The first time they showed black people who were rich, that showed a black businessman. I know a lot of people like to compare him to call him the black Archie Bunker. I never got that vibe. I think George Jefferson was a black man that he had his opinions, but I never thought him as a carbon copy of Archie Bunker because if he truly because I think that was a way of people trying to rationalize some of the things he said, but he reacted like black men, even though it was a comedy and some of it was stereotypical. Nonetheless, Sherman Hemsley, you had to give the man props. And it just like, when Gary Coleman died, we forget how big those shows were and what impact they had culturally on a generation of TV viewers. I highly doubt the Cosby Show would have been on and given the benefit of the doubt if it wasn't for the Jeffersons or Sanford and Son or I forget Diane Carroll, I forget Julia. A lot of people forget Nat King Cole or Amos, and they forget these shows, and we tend to gloss over their impact. But I have to say this, losing Don Cornelius, Whitney Houston, and a few of our brothers and sisters. I forget her name. I'm sorry. I'm sister played. I'm forgetting her name right now. I went blank. But played in Moesha is our history is leaving us, and we got to do better and honor than that. I wish to God that he rest in peace. Hard to believe that he's gone, but we all gonna leave at some point, but it hit me Normally, I just say, send out condolences and things, but it's hit me kind of hard because I was just watching some episodes on DVD, and then I was watching some clips from the other night on here on YouTube. When Sherman's character met the Willises for the first time. Rest in peace, Mr. Hemsley.